This is the pronunciation of terms section for Chapter 2, beginning on page 73. Our first term we have is abdomen. This is the space below the chest that contains stomach, liver, intestines, and gallbladder. It lies between the diaphragm and the pelvis. Next we have abdominal cavity, and this is the same as the abdomen. Anterior means located in the front. Bronchial tubes, one of two tubes that carry air from the windpipe to the lungs. Bronchoscopy, a visual examination of the bronchial tubes by passing an endoscope through the trachea into the bronchi. Cartilage, flexible, fibrous connective tissue found as part of the nose, ears, voice box, and windpipe. Circulatory system. These are organs such as the heart and blood vessels that carry blood throughout the body. Chondroma, a benign tumor of cartilage. Chondrosarcoma, malignant tumor of cartilage. Coccygeal is pertaining to the tailbone. Coccyx is the tailbone. Cranial cavity, the space surrounded by the skull and containing the brain and other organs. Craniotomy, incision of the skull. Diaphragm, muscle that separates the chest from the abdomen. Digestive system, organs that bring food into the body and break it down to enter the bloodstream or eliminate it through the rectum and anus. Disc, a pod of cartilage that is between each backbone. Endocrine system, endocrine glands such as pituitary, thyroid, adrenal, and pancreas. Epithelial is pertaining to skin cells. Esophageal, pertaining to the esophagus. And the esophagus is the tube leading from the throat to the stomach. Female reproductive system, organs that produce and transport egg cells and secrete female hormones. The frontal plane is the vertical plane that divides the body or an organ into front and back portions. Hepatitis, inflammation of the liver. Laparoscopy, visual examination of the abdomen. Laparotomy, incision of the abdomen. Laryngeal, pertaining to the larynx, which is the voice box. Laryngectomy, removal of the larynx. The larynx is the voice box. It is located at the top of the trachea, containing vocal cords. Lateral, pertaining to the side. Lumbar, pertaining to the loins. This is part of the back and sides between the chest and hips. Lymphocyte, white blood cells that is found within lymph and lymph nodes. Male reproductive system, organs that produce sperm cells and male hormones. Mediastinal is pertaining to the mediastinum. And the mediastinum is the space between the lungs and the chest. It contains the heart, large blood vessels, trachea, esophagus, thymus gland, and lymph nodes. Musculoskeletal system, organs that support the body and allow it to move, including the muscles, bones, joints, and connective tissues. The nervous system, organs such as the brain, spinal cord, and nerves that transmit electrical messages throughout the body. Ovary, one of 2 organs in the female abdomen that produces egg cells and female hormones. Pelvic cavity, space contained within the hip bones and the lower part of the backbone. The pelvis, lower part of the trunk of the body, including the hip bone, tailbone, and sacrum. Peritoneal is pertaining to the peritoneum. And the peritoneum is the membrane that surrounds the abdomen and holds the abdominal organs in place. Pharyngeal is pertaining to the pharynx. And the pharynx is the organ behind the mouth that receives swallowed food and delivers it into the esophagus. So the pharynx is the throat. Pituitary gland is the organ at the base of the brain that secretes hormones. These hormones enter the blood to regulate other organs and endocrine glands. Pleura, double membrane that surrounds the lungs. Pleuritis, inflammation of the pleura. Posterior, located in the back portion. Radiology, the science of using X-rays in the diagnosis of disease. Respiratory system, organs that control breathing, allowing air to enter and leave the body. Sacral is pertaining to the sacrum. And the sacrum is a triangular bone in the lower back, below the lumbar bones, and formed by 5 fused bones. Sagittal plane, plane that divides an organ or body into left and right portions. Spinal cavity, space in the back that contains the spinal cord and is surrounded by the backbones. Spinal column are your backbones and vertebrae. Spinal cord, bundles of nerves that extend from the brain down the back. Thoracic cavity, space above the abdomen that contains the heart, lungs, and other organs, also known as the chest cavity. Thoracotomy, incision of the chest. Trachea is the windpipe, which is the tube that carries air from the throat to the bronchial tubes. Tracheotomy, incision of the trachea. Transverse plane, plane that divides an organ or the body into an upper and lower portion. Ureter, one of the two tubes that lead from the kidney to the urinary bladder. Urethra, tube that carries urine from the urinary bladder to the outside of the body. Urinary system, organs that produce and send urine out of the body. These are the kidneys, ureters, bladder, and urethra. Uterus, muscular organ in a female that holds and provides nourishment for the developing fetus. Vertebra is one singular backbone. Vertebrae, multiple backbones. And then vertebral is pertaining to a backbone.